There are stories out there that sound too strange to be true, but every story I tell here really happened. Some were forgotten, some were buried, and some were never meant to be found. So, turn off the lights, put your phone face down, and listen closely, because this story might just keep you up tonight. Edinburgh, Scotland. It's a city of ancient stone, hidden alleyways, and long, dark memories. Every corner feels like it's holding a secret. But one place, it holds on to something much darker. It's called Greyfriars Kirkyard. Locals will tell you it's so haunted that people have been physically attacked just for walking too close. Today's story is about what really happens when you disturb the dead inside Scotland's most infamous graveyard. In the heart of Edinburgh's Old Town, surrounded by centuries-old buildings and quiet cobblestone streets, lies Greyfriars Kirkyard. By day, it's peaceful. You'll see tourists taking photos and locals walking their dogs. But once the sun goes down, the air changes. The wind grows colder, sharper, and the silence seems to listen back to you. For most of its long history, Greyfriars was just another cemetery. But everything changed in 1999 because of one man. A homeless man, whose name was never released, broke into a tomb one night to escape the rain. He pried open an old iron gate and stepped inside, thinking he'd found a safe place to sleep. That tomb belonged to Sir George MacKenzie, a 17th century lawyer and judge. And back in his day, MacKenzie was called Bloody MacKenzie, for a very good reason. He was the man responsible for imprisoning and torturing hundreds of Scottish Covenanters, religious rebels who refused to submit to the king's rule. Under his command, hundreds died in cold, filthy cells just a few hundred yards from where he himself would later be buried. So when the homeless man broke into Mackenzie's tomb that night, he didn't just disturb a grave, he disturbed him. As the man stepped further inside, the ground suddenly gave way beneath him. He fell through rotten floorboards and landed in a pit filled with old bones, human remains from the 1600s, long forgotten. He scrambled out, screaming, covered in dust and ash, and ran terrified into the night. Police later confirmed the tomb had been broken into, but what nobody could explain was what started happening next. Within days, visitors began reporting strange things happening around the Mackenzie Mausoleum. People felt sudden, icy blasts of air, sharp pains, or an unbearable pressure on their chest. Some left with scratches and bruises they swore hadn't been there before. Others fainted, collapsing to the ground, claiming they'd been shoved by an unseen force. A few even said they saw him, a tall figure in dark robes standing near the mausoleum gate, just watching. Word spread like wildfire. Ghost hunters arrived, then scientists, and finally, the city of Edinburgh itself had to get involved. Because these weren't just stories anymore. There were over 400 official police reports filed by people claiming they'd been physically attacked by something inside Greyfriars Kirkyard. In one shocking case, a man collapsed after feeling a burning touch on his neck. When paramedics arrived, they found a distinct hand-shaped burn mark on his skin. In another incident, a woman was thrown backward by an invisible force right in front of her husband. Investigators brought in thermal cameras and EMF detectors. They captured bizarre fluctuations, cold spots that moved on their own, and sudden dramatic bursts of energy readings right near Mackenzie's tomb. But the most disturbing discovery, no matter the season, that specific part of the graveyard was always colder than the rest, as if something there refused to let the warmth in. Eventually, the city locked the tomb and closed off the entire area to the public. But even behind locked gates, the activity didn't stop. A small, brave tour company started offering MacKenzie Poltergeist tours. They'd take groups into the restricted section at night, and on almost every single tour, someone would get scratched, or feel faint, or see a shadow darting between the tombstones. One guide shared a terrifying story. He'd been leading a group when his flashlight suddenly died. When he managed to turn it back on, everyone was gone. He found them all huddled outside the gates, shaking, pale, and terrified. They said they heard whispering right behind them. And the whispering, they said, sounded like laughter. Years later, paranormal experts have ranked Greyfriars Kirkyard as one of the most active supernatural sites in the entire world. Some believe MacKenzie's spirit became what's known as a poltergeist imprint, a lingering, violent burst of energy from an angry life, lashing out at anyone who comes near. But for many locals, there's a simpler, more chilling explanation. They say that after a lifetime of cruelty, Bloody MacKenzie never found peace in death, and now he's making sure no one else does either. Even today, the gate to his mausoleum remains locked. But if you walk by at night, past the weathered tombstones and cold stone walls, some people say you can still hear it. A low, muffled knocking sound, as if something inside is still trying to get out. Greyfriars Kirkyard still stands in the center of Edinburgh, silent, still, and watchful. Tourists come and go, snapping photos of the graves, the moss, the old chapel walls. But those who live there know better. They say at night, when the wind picks up and the city falls quiet, you can feel the weight of history pressing against those iron gates. And the air around the MacKenzie Mausoleum turns colder than anywhere else in Scotland, because some stories never rest. And in Greyfriars, neither do the dead. Another story ends, but the world's full of darker ones still waiting to be found. If you want to hear them, you know where to find me. I'm the Spooky Nomad, and I'll see you in the next story. Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more chills. Stay safe out there.